Russia summons American diplomat as its U.S. outposts are ordered to close. Russia handed a senior U.S. diplomat in Moscow a strongly worded note of protest Saturday, the same day U.S. officials had vowed to shutter 3 Russian diplomatic facilities in the United States amid escalating tensions. The U.S. Deputy Chief of Mission in Moscow was summoned to the Russian Foreign Ministry and handed a note of protest in connection with the intention of the U.S. authorities to search the trade representation of the Russian Federation in Washington, the ministry said in an online statement. The note stressed that we are considering a planned illegitimate search of diplomatic premises in Russia without the presence of Russian officials and a threat to crack the front door as an unprecedented, aggressive action that can also be used by the U.S. Special Services to organize an anti-Russian provocation using planted compromising objects, the statement said. The U.S. authorities must stop the gross violations of international law and breaching the immunity of Russia's diplomatic institutions. Otherwise, we reserve the right to reciprocate on mutual basis, it said. CNN has reached out to U.S. officials for comment about the latest Russian claims. The U.S. State Department announced Thursday that it would close the Russian Consulate General in San Francisco, as well as annexes in Washington and New York, in response to forced staff cuts at the U.S. mission in Russia. A senior aide to Russian President Vladimir Putin called Washington's decision a raider takeover designed to escalate tensions with Russia. These new steps push the bilateral relations further into a deadlock, Yuri Ushakov told Russian state media outlet Russia Today late Friday. Moreover, they contradict the statements made by the U.S. President's administration, including at the highest level, on the establishment of cooperation, he said. There were words, but there's still no readiness for cooperation. Unfortunately, the spiral of unfriendly moves tightens. The plan to abruptly close the 3 diplomatic facilities marks the latest in a series of tense diplomatic exchanges between the two nations, following U.S. allegations that Russia interfered in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Black smoke in San Francisco. In a moment of drama Friday, black smoke billowed from a chimney at the San Francisco consulate building, prompting the city's fire department to tweet, "The Russian embassy had a fire alarm, not a fire, everything is okay." Responding to online speculation over the cause, the Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman said emergency conservation of the building had been underway. Measures are being taken to preserve the building, Maria Zakova wrote on Facebook. Therefore the windows may be closed, the curtains may be lowered, the light may be turned off, the doors may be locked, garbage may be disposed of, heating devices may be switched off, life support systems switched on, and much more. California Representative Jackie Speier, a Democrat, had earlier tweeted about the scene. If there ever was doubt that espionage was going on in the SF consulate, black smoke clears the air on the issue. Russia calls U.S. order a violation of law. In a separate foreign ministry statement Friday, Zakova slammed the U.S. move to shutter the Russian outposts as yet another blatant violation of international law. She claimed Russian staff and their families who live at the consulate were ordered to leave the building for 12 hours on Saturday while U.S. Secret Services search it. A State Department official on Friday told CNN, Russia will no longer be permitted to use these facilities for diplomatic, consular, or residential purposes. Public operations at the consulate in San Francisco must cease by September 2. The facilities will be closed, and entry or access to the properties will be granted only with permission of the Department of State. The State Department will secure and maintain the properties in keeping with our responsibilities. Relevant information on timing has been transmitted to Russian officials. We have nothing further to announce at this time, the official said. In her statement, Zakova said unprecedented restrictive measures by the U.S. would deny visa, notary and other consular services to ordinary Russian and U.S. nationals on the U.S. West Coast. Russia reserves the right to take retaliatory action, Zakova added, as is customary in diplomatic affairs. This was not Russia's choice. It was imposed on us. Diplomatic moves. The decision to close the Russian facilities was made by U.S. President Donald Trump, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said. It's the latest in a series of tit-for-tat moves following U.S. claims of Russian interference in the U.S. 2016 election. Former U.S. President Barack Obama in January ordered 35 Russian diplomats to leave the United States and 2 Russian compounds to be closed, prompting vows from Russian authorities that Moscow would respond in kind. In July, the Russian Foreign Ministry ordered the United States to cut its diplomatic staff in Russia by nearly half and announced it would seize 2 U.S. diplomatic properties in response to expanded sanctions passed by Congress. We believe this action was unwarranted and detrimental to the overall relationship between our countries, State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert said in a statement about Russia's move.